This tutorial is going to show you how to calculate the surface area of a rectangular prism. In order to do that, in Google Sketchup, you need to make sure you draw a rectangular prism. And for this sample, I'm using my garage as a rectangular prism. And you notice that I have my dimensions all on it. I made sure that when I drew my first rectangle, I made it 10 meters by 15 meters. And then I pulled it up to be 5 meters high. Now the important thing in recognizing the qualities of a rectangular prism is a rectangular prism has 6 faces, and for every one face there's a second face that is identical to it. So there's 3 congruent pairs of rectangular faces on this prism. And I have the measurements all set up for this. You can see clearly that it's 10 meters by 15 meters by 5 meters. Alright, so I have 2 rectangles that are 5 by 10, 2 that are 5 by 15, and 2 that are 10 by 15. And so then we need to calculate that. So here's how we do that. Right? In order to calculate the area of a rectangular prism, we need to access this formula. Alright? We need to realize that area of a rectangular prism, okay, we have 2 times the length times the width. That represents one pair of our congruent rectangles. And we add them to 2 times length times width, and that's another pair of our rectangular rectangles, or congruent rectangles, and finally 2 times length times width. The 2 in each of these questions represents the number of rectangles that are congruent. So each pair of rectangles. So to calculate the area of a rectangle, it's length times width. So we have the length here times the width here. And because we have 2 rectangles, we have this rectangle here, we have this rectangle here, and then on the other side, hidden behind the back, we have the second rectangle. So if we were to use this, put this into our formula, we have 2 times the length is 10 times 5. Alright? And we're going to add that to, let's add it to this rectangle here. We have 15 and 5 here. So this is one rectangle, and way over on the other side, buried back there, is our second rectangle. So we have 2 times 15 times 5. Plus, we have this bottom rectangle, right? And this bottom rectangle happens to be 15 by 10. Alright? And we have 2 of those, and the second one is kind of underneath the ceiling here, buried. It's the roof of the garage. So we have 2 times 15 times 10. So now we do the math here. So this is 20 times 5 is 100, plus 30 times 5 is 150, plus 150 times 2 is 300. So now we go, this is 400, 550 meters squared is our area. And that's how you calculate the area of a rectangular prism. Important thing to always remember is a good idea is to write down the formula every single time. Area equals 2 times length plus width plus 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times width. And then just put all the appropriate numbers in there, calculations, and add them all up, and your answer is always given in meters squared. Alright? And that's how you calculate the area of a rectangular prism.